U.S. President Joe Biden has signed a long-awaited bill that provides some $61 billion to assist Ukraine. Before that, a total of $75 billion in aid had already been given to the country. But why is the Biden administration so keen on backing Ukraine? Why is America throwing around all this cash? Well, it's not just charity.
While this bill sends military equipment to Ukraine, it spends the money right here in the United States of America, in places like Arizona, where the Patriot missiles are built, in Alabama, where the Javelin missiles are built, in Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Texas, where artillery shells are made.
90% of the security assistance we provided has actually been spent here in the United States with our manufacturers, with our production, and that's produced more American jobs, more growth in our own economy.
Over the past 5 years, the U.S. has boosted its arms exports by 17%, making up 42% of the global export market and keeping its top spot as the world's leading arms dealer, says the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, or SIPRI. Since the Russia-Ukraine conflict started, the U.S. defense and aerospace sectors have seen a hefty 17.5% boost in industrial output, according to the Federal Reserve. Big players like Raytheon Technologies, Lockheed Martin, and Northrop Grumman are cashing in, big time. But here's the kicker. The newly passed U.S.-Ukraine aid is not actually free. Roughly $9.5 billion would be structured as a loan, with repayment terms set by the U.S. president. As early as last year, Celeste Wallander, a top Pentagon official, suggested that Kyiv might have to eventually pay for some of the weapons shipments. Now onto another moneymaker, gas sales to Europe. Over the past 2 years, the EU has been following America in imposing sanctions on Russia and swearing off its Russian gas addiction. Instead, they're turning to America's liquefied natural gas, or LNG. This supply diversification strategy has made the U.S. the world's largest exporter of LNG. In 2023, almost half of Europe's LNG came from the U.S. But here's the catch. U.S. gas ain't cheap. That even got French President Emmanuel Macron and German Economy Minister Robert Habeck to complain. Some friendly countries are charging astronomical prices for gas. And it's not just gas. Europe's buying a ton of arms from America too. According to SIPRI, Europe nearly doubled its weapons imports over the past 5 years, thanks in part to the conflicts in Ukraine. From missiles to tanks, European countries are lining up at Raytheon and Lockheed Martin's door. In 2023, Poland dropped $1.4 billion on tanks and another $10 billion on rocket systems by Lockheed Martin. Slovakia bought F-16 fighter jets, and Romania is throwing down $6.5 billion on F-35s, their biggest military buy ever. Maybe now you know why America has been pushing its European allies to up their defense spending. Simple. The U.S. wants to ensure that European countries, which already spend about half of their defense purchasing on American weapons, to buy more. And the plan has worked out. By 2024, NATO has signed $10 billion in arms deals for Kyiv. 2/3 of NATO member countries are expected to meet or exceed a 2% GDP defense spending goal, leading to a huge demand for weapons. As the conflict in Ukraine enters year 3, few are betting on Ukraine to win, but the U.S. is pushing Kyiv to keep fighting. The war must continue because money must continue to be made. Meanwhile, tensions between Russia and Europe are heating up, especially since Sweden and Finland joined NATO. The risk of a direct Russia-Europe showdown is climbing, and a big war could be on the horizon. But the question everyone should be asking is, who is going to cash in?